Are you using topical testosterone and wondering if it's right for you, if it's even going to absorb into your body? My name's Dr. Taranella, and in this video, we're going to look at some of the problems that I see with topical testosterone. We're going to look at three things: the absorption of topical testosterone, the possibility of it rubbing off or getting onto other people or pets, and when to have your levels checked if you want to understand whether or not you are absorbing your testosterone. This video should give you a better understanding of topical testosterone, but it's not tailored to your specific needs, so please check out this disclaimer before we get into the video details. So one of the main problems I see with topical testosterone is that it does not absorb very well. This is a case for Androgel and other compounded topical testosterone products. I did make a video about how to improve topical testosterone absorption too, if you want to check that out. Still, even with these techniques, it often doesn't work to raise your actual testosterone. And if they don't work, well, it's kind of a waste of time and money. You don't really know until you try. And I do have many men that take the topical form and it works great for them. So sometimes you just have to try it out and see if it's going to work for you. And part of that process too is knowing when to actually test your levels after you've applied it. And that has to do with the half-life of the actual medication. There is considerable variation in the half-life of testosterone between individuals and even between different topical forms. On the prescriber site for Androgel, it says that it can range anywhere from 10 to 100 minutes. They also note that the variations in detoxification pathways genetically could account for some of the variability between the half-life of the topical formula that you're using, with the main two detoxification pathways being glucuronidation and sulfation. So when looking a bit further and trying to find the actual half-life for Androgel, it's not clear, but it does state that serum concentrations return to approximate baseline within 48 to 72 hours. This would have us believe that the half-life is almost this long, or at least 24 hours. But this has not been my experience in prescribing any kind of topical testosterone. And in fact, when we look at the pharmacodynamic studies, it looks like there's an initial spike that drops off at 4 hours. And this is more likely what I see clinically, but the package insert suggests that there's a more uniform absorption throughout the day. And I don't typically see this when I'm checking serum testosterone levels. This is interesting that I don't see this clinically, but they're stating on the package insert that it does have a more uniform absorption. If you do want to know more about this, let me know in the comments section. I'm curious to know what other people have experienced and if you do want to know more about this. So if you do get that initial spike and then it drops down, that's still okay. It means you're getting the testosterone into your body and it doesn't have to stay high the whole day to get benefit from it. After all, you're going to be putting it on again tomorrow anyways. The point is that you typically aren't going to expect your levels to be high when you're checking your blood in 24 hours after you've applied it. For instance, if you don't take it the day of the actual blood test and you took it 24 hours before, it's likely going to be much, much lower, perhaps even lower than when you started. The other problem I see with topical testosterone is it can rub off and get onto children, significant others, pets, basically anything that you may not want it to get on. It can get onto those other things. There are some simple things you can do to avoid this, like picking a spot that's not going to likely rub off in anyone, wearing a finger glove, washing your hands, etc. But those don't work necessarily for everyone. And depending on which technique you're using, it may not actually work at all. If you want to know more about this particular topic, how to avoid getting it on to significant others, children, etc., let me know in the comments section, and I may do a separate video on that topic. The other problem I see with topical testosterone is kind of related to the first one about absorption, is when you're checking your levels. So yes, there are problems with absorption, but you're not going to necessarily know this unless you're checking within a certain time frame. So that time frame probably should be somewhere between 2 to 12 hours. In my experience, the topical testosterone does have a very quick or short half-life. So if you're checking your blood 12 hours after you've applied it, it's already going to be much lower than it was 2 to 6 hours afterwards. And that's basically what this graph shows here too. So my recommendation is for you to check it between 2 and 12 hours after your blood test. If you're finding these videos helpful and useful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the like button and continue to get videos like this one. And that's all I had to mention on the problems that I see with topical testosterone. If you do have any of those questions in the comment section, happy to answer your question. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.